So the last couple of weeks, the show rate has been a huge problem on my offer. Now, there's two things that I think will help the show up rate. And the show up rate is only 20 to 25% in the last 2 weeks, which means 80 to 75% of people that are booking in calls are not even showing up. And a lot of the people that are showing up are not qualified too. Now, in terms of my part, what can I do to make this better? My SOP is whenever someone books in on my calendar, I have an alert or show me. First thing I want to do is I want to call them. If they don't pick up, I want to send them over a text. Just letting them know, hey John, I seen that you booked in on my calendar for later today or tomorrow. Just want to be best prepared for the call. Is there anything you need from me before, right? Once I get the response, just letting them know, hey, just make sure you watch our pre-call video. In all honesty, our pre-call video doesn't really prepare them for the call, which is really annoying. But just make sure you watch the video and make sure that you're in a quiet place, no distractions, don't be walking around, don't be driving, so that we can have a productive call, right? And it'll be best to join on a laptop. That's something that I want to implement and something that I've been implementing. And with the people that have got that and replied back to me, they tend to show up. And I also tell them in the text, if anything happens, no worries, just shoot me a text, we can reschedule. That's what I can do on my side. Also, something, we had our first group call with Matt Ryder yesterday, and one of the biggest things he was saying, and it's a fundamental thing, but it's good that he said it because now I'm really going to make sure I do it every day, is make sure the night before you go to bed, all your next day sets, all your next day calls should be confirmed. So call them up, text them, make sure you get that confirmation, because when you go on your calendar, you should see who's confirmed with the tick and all that. If you go to bed and these people haven't confirmed yet, the likelihood of them showing up, it just plummets. And today I'm seeing the repercussions of that. I went to bed last night, I tried to call all these people, I tried to text them, I triple dialed all of them, and I sent them all text. I didn't hear nothing back. Waking up this morning, I already had one no-show. I've got a call coming up in 10 minutes. This guy hasn't responded to nothing. I've sent him a message on our CRM. I even grabbed his number, put it into my own phone number so I could send him an iMessage. Haven't heard anything from him. One little tip as well to help get these confirmations is take their number from the CRM if you have an iPhone, put it in your phone, send them an iMessage so they have that blue bubble, and then also give them a call. Now, obviously, I'm calling mostly American leads, so I don't want to pay for that thing, right? So the way to go around that is just, that's my reminder for my call in 10 minutes. The way to work around that is call them on, what's it called? Call them on FaceTime audio. So you're just using, so you don't have to pay the international fees. And then from there, get that confirmation. I did that with these people, haven't got no confirmations for today, which is really annoying. So what I want to do is, hopefully this guy shows. It looks like he's not going to show, if I'm being honest. So I'm spending these hours just dialing and trying to book new people onto my calendar, same day sets, qualify them and close. So yeah, so that's what I can do on my side. Now, in terms of the team side, this is something I'm going to speak about on our meeting today, is there's no friction. And what do I mean by that is we have a lot of self-bookings, which as a beginner, I thought that was great. A lot of people going to book on my calendar. There was days where I had 8 calls, 9 calls, double bookings, and I was like, wow, this is great. Then I realized, first of all, the show rate, most of them are not showing up, right? If I had 8 calls on my calendar, like maybe 2 of them were showing up. And then one of them was like not qualified. So there needs to be more friction. So one of the guys that I actually helped bring onto the team, not really working with us anymore, he was like, hey bro, the reason why we're really struggling right now with the leads is because there's no friction. And basically he was saying it has to be harder for these people to get on the calendar. So right now our funnel is, we got the VSL, and the VSL can definitely be optimized in my opinion. But more importantly, the type form for them to actually like qualify themselves, right? So we got the typical name, email, number. Okay, cool. Now our qualifying questions are what is your occupation? So what job do you do? And why would you be a good fit? And how much do you make per year? Then that's it. And then they can just book a call on my calendar or our other closers. That is a huge problem because it's too easy and people are booking these calls and they're forgetting, right? So I want to go onto our team meeting and say, okay, we need to make this a lot harder. We need to make it clear that if you book in this call, you have to show up. My favorite funnels are the ones where they're just straight to the point and they say, hey, on this call, an investment will be made, right? They don't beat around the bush. The worst ones, in my opinion, is the ones where it's like they frame it as a free consultation call or they frame it as a free discovery call, and then you have a bunch of people that show up thinking that it's a free thing and they have no idea, and that's when you get a lot of think about objections, money objections, because it makes sense. When they went through the application, when they went through the funnel, there was no indication of I'm going to make an investment or what's going to happen here. So we need to add a lot more friction there. I even noticed at the end, our pre-call video needs to be dialed into. We're not telling them on the form, like, make sure you're not distracted, make sure you show up on time. Telling them, like, just letting them know that, okay, how much would you be able to invest on call if this is an alignment, right? Just things like that. They just make it so much better for the closers. Yes, it's going to be less booked in calls, definitely, but they're going to be so much more qualified, which is what we need. Like, I don't want a bunch of, like, sets on my board and then 80% of them don't show up. And then the 20% that show up, a lot of them are unqualified. It just don't make sense. So I'm going to try to speak to my team about that. Hopefully they can do something about that because, yeah. But when I do manage to get them on the phone, I qualify them, especially financially. And I've been picking off a lot of people off my calendar like that because they're like, oh, I can't do anything. Okay, well, I push them off and I send them free resources and I tell them let's reconnect when it doesn't make sense financially. So yeah, if you're on an offer right now, you're really struggling with show rates, that's something that you could try as well. Speak to your team too. But yeah, I'm coming up on a month as a closer on a team where I actually have ironically where I have a lot of calls, right? Once again, show rate is really bad. There has been some days where I have had no calls, where nobody showed up. Nobody. So that still needs to be tweaked. But on the 19th, which is tomorrow, it's going to be a full 30 days of me closing on this offer. And I'll make a video about how it's gone so far. But yeah,